On Sunday, January 1st, the New Jersey Devils lost their 9th consecutive home game to the Carolina Hurricanes, who currently lead the Metropolitan Division with 56 points. And not only that, they've won 11 games in a row and have won 15 of their last 16, picking up points in 17 straight games. The Carolina Hurricanes have been absolutely rolling right now, and the Devils had to welcome them on New Year's Day and gave them a good fight. 4-4, the game went to a shootout before Andrei Svechnikov eventually netted the winner in that shootout for the Carolina Hurricanes. The Devils did not necessarily look their strongest in this one, even though we've been saying that over the course of this losing skid. They now dropped the 9th of their last 10, and as I said, 9 consecutive home games, despite boasting a very strong away record. At this point, they still sit in second place in the Metropolitan Division, just 2 points ahead of the Washington Capitals. The Devils have 49, Washington with 47. But in this game, it was not necessarily the great Devils that we had been seeing in November, and not only in November, but even on the last 2 losses to Boston and in that game against Pittsburgh, where they struggled to be the better side, but still came away with the 2 points. Today, they only come away with 1. And after a quiet first period, it was Derek Stepan who opened the scoring. And the former New York Ranger received a pass from the former New Jersey Devil, Stefan Noesen, on a 2-on-1 that started with a bad pinch from Kevin Ball. And it was an easy tap-in at the end for Derek Stepan. But the other way, Jack Hughes, an absolutely ridiculous goal, just slicing past Jacob Slavin before beating Antti Ranta on the backhand side. Just an absolutely disgusting goal from Jack Hughes, who was carving up the ice in unbelievable ways in this one. Really looked dangerous every time he got the puck. Certain energy in the arena whenever he gets it. In many ways, unlike any other player I've ever seen for this New Jersey Devils team. He was a joy to watch every time he had the puck tonight. But it was Sebastian Aho who takes away the storylines with this second period. A puck trickles in to the Devils zone after they get a power play. A little careless from Jack Hughes, actually, on that one. Mackenzie Blackwood comes out of his crease to play the puck, fans on it, and it's an easy, empty net for Sebastian Aho to make it 2-1 heading into the third period. And Mackenzie Blackwood's a goaltender who's faced a lot of adversity over the last few years with injuries, and his confidence has not been at the highest in his career lately. He showed flashes of being a fantastic, reliable NHL starter when he first broke onto the scene. Mostly in 2019-20 was where he got a lot of attention. And he showed flashes of being that goaltender today, too. He was remarkable, made 40-plus saves through regulation before even getting to overtime, where he faced a lot of rubber there. Mackenzie Blackwood had a strong night. This was a blemish, and it did give them the second goal. But it also started with several different things not falling right into place. You know, Jack Hughes coughing up the puck on the blue line, no one being back in their own zone to protect it. They shouldn't be going backwards on a power play. A lot of things went wrong for this goal to happen, but it's going to be Mackenzie Blackwood whose name gets attached to it for that display. It's a very unfortunate moment, but you have to give him a lot of credit for the way he bounced back and stayed strong in this one. He still gave up 2 more in the third period, but those goals really were not his fault. He was excellent today, bar none, despite that bad mistake. Things were a little tense in the locker room postgame with Mackenzie. You understand that what he's been going through as a goaltender has been a little more difficult than others recently. But Lindy Ruff went to bat for him too when he was asked postgame about the play and what he took from it. Take a listen.
I've seen lots of those goals over my career. I've seen lots of those plays where it's an accidental mistake by a goaltender. If you want to look at highlights this year, go around and look at the highlights around the league, and you're going to see that goal on a lot of different teams. If you're going to ask your goalie to play pucks, you're going to see those mistakes. Go to the Philadelphia game when Hart was playing and we won the game, the mistake he made with the puck. There's lots of those mistakes in the game. Go to the plays that lead up to those mistakes and look at what happened there. It was a tough play. It happens when a goalie has to play the puck with the tools he has. That is going to happen. He tried to make the right play. We needed him to make that play. It didn't happen. I'll give him a lot of credit for keeping his composure and playing and making some big frickin' saves that allowed us to get back in the game and get a point out of the game. And if you want to look at some of the saves he made in overtime, the breakaway saves, to allow us to get to a shootout. Got to give him a lot of credit.
Carolina continued to look like the stronger team heading into that third period, but it was the Devils who would strike first off the stick of Jesper Bratt, who off the feed from Tomas Tatar walked in along the far boards into the circle before sniping one through the wickets of Antti Raanta, just a 5-hole. He snuck it off of him. Did not look like he was going to shoot and masked it with a pass to make it 2-2 early in the third period. Even though Carolina were definitely the better team, and that pressure would ultimately culminate into another Derek Stepan goal, his second of the game and just his fourth of the season. The former New York Ranger was able to beat Kevin Ball to a rebound to make it 3-2. However, 26 seconds the other way, Nico Hischier makes it 3-3 on a beautiful wraparound. It looked like Antti Raanta got to his post to beat him to it, but somehow the New Jersey Devils captain was able to sneak this one away to make it 3-3. A few minutes later, Jesper Bratt adds his second of the game and his 14th of the year, streaking across the deep slot, wrists one that does get deflected on the way in. Antti Raanta got a piece of it, but not enough. 4-3 New Jersey, their first lead of the afternoon. Then there was a strange situation with penalties. Jonas Siegenthaler was called for an embellishment after being tripped up, but it was a very poor decision in my opinion. Not a lot of people in the press room nor in the fans understood much of the call. So instead of the Devils getting a power play, they immediately went to 4-on-4. Then they gave up a couple penalties of their own, including Ryan Graves getting a delay of game, flipping the puck into the crowd over the glass, and when he was trying to clear the zone. 5-on-3 penalty. That power play for Carolina has struggled this year, just 23rd best in the league. But they were able to break through with the two-man advantage. Martin Necas, who has been their leading point scorer, he got 36 points on the season with that one. His 16th goal of the year through traffic to beat Mackenzie Blackwood late in that third period to send things to overtime 4-4. And Carolina had 3 separate breakaway chances, including one from Brady Shea, Jacob Slavin, and Seth Jarvis, all denied by Mackenzie Blackwood, who stood on his head to keep the Devils in this one going into the shootout. A really great response from Blackwood considering what happened to him in the second. And in that shootout, the Devils could not find a way past Antti Raanta, who had an equally strong game, not nearly as busy of a night, but still looked very, very good for the Carolina Hurricanes. And it would be Andrei Svechnikov, who was the only player to net a goal in the shootout, to be the difference in this one. He was held to a rather quiet game, the Carolina Starman, but he did well in the shootout to beat Blackwood to give the Hurricanes the 2 points. The Devils still get a valuable point out of this one. Although they've struggled at home lately, they really did well to claw back into this game and get a point against a tough opponent in a game that they were outplayed. So the Devils will go on to the road now. They play the Detroit Red Wings on Wednesday before going straight back home against the St. Louis Blues. As it stands, the Devils still hold on to that second place position in the Metropolitan Division, 7 points behind the Carolina Hurricanes with 56. Devils still holding on to 49. They'll be out against Detroit next time. I've been James Burley for WFUV Sports. I'll see you guys next time.